Alrighty. I just got done doing a video on my Smith & Wesson revolver, and I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this one right behind it. So, little short story on this. At one time, not too long ago, I just started redoing all my guns back in like October of 2009. Rethinking, sold some, bought some, blah 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 blah. Got my concealed carry permit. Wanted to start carrying. Started getting this, buying that. I bought Glocks, Ruger SR9 Compact, everything else. Well, I also had a Kel Tec PF9. Well, I sold it. I used to have a Ruger LCP. I sold it. I sold both of those to get the money to buy my SIG P238, which I do not in any way regret getting that SIG P238, but I did, after a while, regret getting rid of my Kel Tec PF9. So I kind of started going on the hunt. Kel Tec PF9. So, this past Saturday we had a gun show. Went to the gun show. This gun show was an absolute joke. I'm glad I got in free. Retired military, got into this gun show for nothing, and I'm very glad I did. Because I guarantee you, in that entire gun show, there was not over 20 handguns at the entire gun show. I mean, this thing was just ridiculous. So, I go in there, I look around, okay, nothing. I come out, I have a local gun dealer here in town that has got a good website, and he had new Kel Tec PF9s. He used to have two of them, consecutive serial numbers, black grips, black frame, blued slide. He had those for a while, he did. Those things started out at $299, I want to say, and he had them on there, and he would drop the price. He went to $289. I seen it at $279, $269, and then he went to $249. I got out of that gun show, and I was so frustrated. I was like, I'm going to call him, and I'm going to go over, because he sells out of his house. He's open 6 days a week, but he's got stuff he has to do, so it's a good thing if you call before you drive out there and say, hey, are you there? Are you open? Blah, blah, blah. So I call him up. He's there. I said, I want to come out and take a look at one of your PF9s. He said, they're both gone. I said, both gone? Yep, sold them both. He don't have any. I was like, yeah, that figures. So I go downtown to another, storefront gun shop, and I go in there. Well, they have two Kel Tec PF9s, and they're twins. Identical. One of them's new, one of them's used. So, I get to looking at the used one, checking it out, so on and so forth, and this is it. Now this PF9 here was purchased used. This has got the gray frame. Some people have looked at it and said, that almost looks green. Well, I guess maybe it does have kind of a greenish tinge to it, but it's not the green one. This is the gray, which I don't really, I'm not in love with the gray, but whenever you're looking at something used, you're kind of at the mercy of the used market. So I'm in there and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm getting past the color, I'm like, holding it. This absolutely don't feel any different whatsoever to the one I had before. They had a brand new one in there. This particular gun store was asking $330, $329.99 for the new one. This used one, they were asking, let me get this right, the new one was $229. This one was $329. The used one was $219. So $110 less if I didn't screw up them numbers. So $219 for this. I'm going to let you get some close-up views of it here. See what kind of shape it's in. And I've already proven that I can't talk and do this stuff very well, so I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to let you all look at it. And you look at this, and this thing appears to look cosmetically about like brand new, if not like brand new. So I'm in there and I'm looking at it, and I thought, well, what the hell? I said, I'll ask them if they'll take $200 out the door, tax and all. I offered it, and I talked. Actually, there's a older man and woman that own this gun shop, and the woman usually is the one doing the dealing. Well, I ended up getting the guy, and he's also the gunsmith. And I asked him that, and he stood there, and he goes, you know, this sells new for $330. And I said, yeah, I know. And he looked and he goes, okay, I'll do it. For cash, no credit card, cash or a check. He said, I'll do that, $200 out the door. So I essentially got this for like $188 plus tax. And it is just, you know, great shape. I mean, obviously I haven't shot it yet. You know, there could be something in the innards of this that's jacked up, but I haven't seen any indication of that yet. That's empty. That's empty. You look at the feed ramp. I know the thing's been fired. They were the ladies in there. The counter lady was, well, did that guy even say if he ever even fired this? I'm thinking, yeah, I'm sure he fired it. Who buys a gun like this and don't fire it at all? But it has been fired because I did clean it. And I mean, it had some little bit of powder residue and stuff. But I'll tell you what, this thing hasn't been fired much. Hasn't been fired much. And I did some checking via the serial number to try and find out how old the gun was. And that's when I found out through the Kel Tec forum and a post that I put on there that this was made somewhere between September and December of 2010. So, you know, what is it? 6, 7 months old, 5 months old, 3 months old, I don't know. But I got my Kel Tec PF9 back. And I think I did very well. The proof will be in the pudding, though. I gotta fire it. And it needs to perform. You know, that's just pretty much it. It needs to perform. That lighting, back dots don't show up very good, do they? Oops. I don't know if that's going to do anything or not. You can see them there, but boy, they're not very bright. There they are. Sight picture. Typical 3-dot, no nights. Anybody that knows much about Kel Tec, pretty much just a stock gun. But I will tell you this, and I'll get off of here. The trigger on this, to the best of my recollection, the trigger on this newer, later built, later model PF9, this trigger is smoother and lighter than my previous Kel Tec was. And that really shocked me. I start pulling up, man, that is literally, that right there is just like freaking butter. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. And it's smooth. And my other one was not like that. And I just know in my own mind that old boy didn't stinking buy this, have some kind of trigger job done on it, and then go trade it. And if they sold me this for like 188 bucks, they probably gave that poor sucker 120 on a trade. You know? It's just the way the gun shops work. Anyway, I am once again a Kel Tec PF9 owner. I don't plan to sell this one as long as it performs well, which I don't have any reason not to believe it won't. Here again, get out and do some shooting here before too long, hopefully. Once I do, update to follow. This thing's getting long. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. You all take care. See ya.